Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another episode of Free Flight Friday. I'm the Sunday Pilot and I'm taking a first look, or my first look, of the Carenado Saab 340. It used to be that Carenado only did one of their sales once a year, and that was around December before Christmas. However, during the COVID pandemic, Carenado have been definitely offering a few additional sales throughout the year, and I decided to pick up their version of the Saab 340. And one of the main reasons that I wanted to get my hands on this aircraft from Carenado was because it was available in the Logan Air livery. I was keen to do more flying in my adopted home Scotland, and of course Logan Air is Scotland's airline, and mainly fly this Saab 340 along with a few Saab 2000s and Embraer 145s with some ATRs on order. Their routes are typically from Glasgow, Edinburgh, Inverness and Aberdeen to the Highlands and Islands, but they do offer a few other services, for example here to Donegal. And that's where I'm flying in this episode, from Donegal in the west of Ireland across to Glasgow, my home international airport. It's a short flight of less than 1 hour, and therefore a great opportunity to try out this little commuter aircraft from Carenado. Jumping into the business end of the little Carenado Saab 340, I'm very impressed with all of the buttons, switches and systems modelled extremely well to very high detail, just what you would expect from Carenado. As you can see, even the cockpit door opens and closes, and the interior cabin is also very well modelled, which, as you can imagine, is part of the Saab 340 I've visited many times in real life, when visiting clients in Orkney, Shetland, the Western Islands and even the Isle of Man, which of course are all vital air corridors between the cities of Glasgow, Edinburgh and small remote communities surrounding the Great British mainland. So back in the cockpit, it's time to close and lock the door and get this little Saab 340 on its flight across to Scotland.
Logan 204 cleared to Glasgow Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain altitude 7,000. Departure on 132.15, squawk 3612. With information Tango. Request taxi IFR.
Logan 204, taxi holding point for runway 3 via taxiway Alpha. Contact tower on 129.8 when ready.
It's going to be a very short taxi to the runway, so I don't have a lot of time to tell you about the scenery that I have installed for this flight. What you're seeing here at Donegal is what you get when you purchase Orbx EU Ireland. And as we climb out of Donegal heading towards County Londonderry in Northern Ireland, you will get to see EU NI. And then finally, crossing the Irish Sea, we will enter the airspace of Orbx Scotland EU, and then landing at Glasgow International Airport from UK2000, and it's the UK2000 HD, so the brand new version at the time of recording this video.
Clear for takeoff, runway 3, Logan 204. GSX Logan 204 banks. Bye-bye.
This was only the second time I'd flown the Saab 340 from Carenado since purchasing the little aircraft from the Carenado store, so I felt I was a little slower than I usually would be in an aircraft that I was a lot more familiar with. The first flight that I completed only a couple of days earlier was from Glasgow up to Sunborough in the Shetland Islands. Sinbrief had given me a cruising altitude of 23,000 feet for that flight, and not knowing any better, the little Saab really did struggle to get to 23,000 feet. So as you can see on this flight, I chose a much lower altitude, starting with a cruise at 15,000 feet overhead Loch Foyle in Northern Ireland. I had the idea in my head that I could do some step climbs if I wanted to a higher altitude later on in this short flight between Donegal and Glasgow.
Descend altitude 7,000. Logan 204.
Logan.
2119.1. Logan 204. Bye-bye.
As we made our way through the clouds overhead the Ayrshire countryside, we were being vectored towards runway 05. That's ILS runway 05 at Glasgow. And of course 05 for Glasgow is one of the easiest approaches you can do in Flight Sim. 23 is slightly different as you make an approach with the Campsie Hills to your right, but 05 is really just a straight-in approach from the Kilmarnock area.
Logan 204. Glasgow Tower. Continued approach. Runway 5. Altimeter 2906 feet.
$400. $300. $200. $100. $50. $40. $30. $20. $10.
Over 2121.7, Logan 204, bye-bye.
And there you go, guys. Welcome to Glasgow EGPF. And while maybe not the best example of a landing, it was only my second landing in this Saab 340 from Carenado. And talking about the Saab 340 from Carenado, I have to say it's a lovely little aircraft to fly. And I look forward to doing a number of trips around my adopted home country of Scotland between Glasgow, Edinburgh, the Highlands and of course the Islands. And while this Saab livery is default from Carenado straight out of the box, there's plenty of other liveries that you can download from Avsim. So as we taxi up to the East Pier here at Glasgow and the home of Logan Air here at Glasgow, it's time to bring another episode of Sim Sunday to an end. I'd obviously like to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and wherever you're flying in your virtual world, don't forget to fly safe.
19.1 squawk 2064.
With Air 1018. Glasgow 9.1 squawk 640 686 tree clear to Malaga Airport as filed. Fly runway heading.